Again, maybe bordering a little bit too close to cursing the rest of the run, but if not, then this is how we survive. Jeez, I keep doing that. Forget that it's not going to let me auto-target if the things that I'm trying to cast Mephitic on are poison resistant. But come on, game, just read my mind. Just know exactly what I intend to do without me having to, proffer up any information or clarification. If you could just do that, that would be great. And, resist corrosion ring can probably go off for the time being. It's a little bit more of an emergency maneuver at this stage. What would I rather wear? Wizardry? Potentially, actually. How are we looking? These are all castable. Irradiate is now fully castable. I should have learned that a while back. Manifold Assault, yeah, long ways off, but that makes sense. We have absolutely zero training in that spell school. Don't know what you'd really expect otherwise. Do I want to learn it? Maybe. Guess this is another one of those good excuses to just pretend to think for a while while I'm actually just using it as an opportunity to sip my drink. So Doggo's freaking out about something. It's been a high pressure weekend, or a very tense weekend for my doggo, having visitors around. It's been so long since we had visitors in general, and a decent while since they saw my family members. Fortunately, she kind of knows them, so it's a pretty quick warm-up process, but she was not happy to have intruders in our home. Such a strange thing. Dogs have all come to learn that people never come over, and we never leave the house, and it's the greatest of lives for dogs. Kind of. I guess at the end of the day, she really does enjoy having the company, so as stressful as it may be sometimes here or there, to make that first maneuver, she seems to absolutely adore it, especially since they all have dogs of their own back home and miss their dogs, so they will just endlessly play with her. It's like getting free babysitters. It's actually quite lovely. Do you know what? This floor is looking like a little bit of a nightmare, so I think what we'll actually do is turn around for the time being and let's head back up to where we left Lair behind. We should be in a pretty decent spot now for dealing with it. Fingers crossed. Don't make me regret that game. And please don't make me look stupid in front of my friends. Let's maybe learn Petrify just in case. A little bit of a background emergency. And I'm also going to train translocations up a little bit. Hitting level 4 should happen right away. And that will at least bring the Blink spell into fully castable. And then Manifold Assault can come about in its own due time as well. Lots of clouds, please. Fantastic. There we go. And right, actually having the freeze brand on our axe also does really well against reptiles too. Absolutely love to see it. And ooh, a Komodo dragon has joined the chat. Let's maybe do something like this. Something like this. Please create clouds everywhere and light them all on fire. Lovely. Komodo dragon's a bit scary. These buddies hit like a freaking truck. Especially, yeah, when you're a scrawny little elf. But ideally, we can confuse you. Kill you real quick. The rest of those yaks are kind of confused. Another Komodo dragon. You don't say. Well, how about that? Isn't that just a wonderful coincidence? Well, in that case, let's play it safe here and go for an early potion petition. If I can get magic in here somewhere, I can't. Apparently I was asking for a bit too much, but brilliance is also not too bad. Makes everything cost half. Early telly's probably... It's a great idea. My only issue there is I don't even know if I could survive long enough to read it, so I think, unfortunately, I let it go a bit too long without thinking. Yeah, it's too late now. I know exactly. No, I do always forget to account for the stream delay, but probably would have been a great idea. I didn't realize quite how much attention we were bringing to ourselves. We have the ability to blink, of course. Again, I'll never regret spending all of those, spending hand over fist. Let's go for another potion petition. Should have heal in it. If it also has magic, that would be lovely. Haste and heal wounds. Heal wounds and berserk rage is probably not the best, but at the end of the day, I guess we're pretty poor when it comes to magic points anyway, so we're not going to be casting anything. If I go berserk, I mean, hubris is the way to die as a berserker, don't get me wrong. But let's go for it. We get into a pretty good spot. Most of these monsters are going to stay confused for a little bit or become distracted by the dazzling gold that we're leaving around us, so should actually just be able to fight you like that. How about that? Well, not too shabby. Spent a decent chunk of change. We get to recoup some of that, of course, with all the gold piles on the floor here, but that's not to say it was necessarily the most economic way to go about this. But hey, that should be all good here. Let's ID again. Potion of Magic. Quite nice. Definitely can't complain there. Moxon, are you gonna see me? I feel like we're doing this whole will they, won't they type thing. Constantly just barely avoiding getting your attention. But there we go. A smoky golden potion. Ooh, some luck fatalis? Is that what? I don't know, it's been a long time since I read Harry Potter, mostly because J.K. Rowling is horrible. And I feel like those books would not hold up on a return. The movies, on the other hand, are kind of fun. But Lady Luck herself. Okie dokie. And here we go. Our first Hydra is always a pretty good test here. I appreciate it. Colgate, definitely need to relieve some pressure. Always love when people redeem those stretch and hydrates. Keep me alive over here. Way too likely to get tensed up and just curl into a smaller and smaller ball as the stream continues on here. Even when I'm just playing on my own, playing even casual games, I find that my posture has been so bad lately, I just very much curl into myself. I feel like it's almost my resting position, seeing as how that's also generally what happens when I sleep at night. Just curl myself up into a smaller and smaller ball. You're actually potentially going to one-shot us. I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. So, let's turn ourselves into a tree. Leaves us with a lot fewer escape options, but gives us way more armor class so we actually can survive. Of course, anytime you have those multiple hits, but lower magnitude in terms of the damage they're outputting, AC goes such a long way to keeping ourselves alive here. Though we are at the limit of how much we can do there, just seeing as how we no longer have any more tree potions, unfortunately. Hey, Crackety Jones, how's it going? Hope you're having a great weekend. Been a bit since I saw you last in chat, but always lovely to see people old and new. Hope you're having a good one here, and thank you as well, Softman25, for the follow. I very much appreciate it. Thank you for the support, and I hope you also follow in the trend of having a fantastic weekend, so far at least, and hopefully to continue moving forward. Don't want to accidentally lampshade in the suggestion even that anyone had a bad, or should have a bad weekend, because I hope it's just going fine and dandy for everyone across the board. And if it's not, that's okay too. We have good ones and bad ones. You think the last time you were in here you weren't chatting, just lurking and watching? Well, awesome. No, that's always just as great. I appreciate any show of support. So thank you so much, and never any pressure for anyone out there to join in the chatting. Of course, like being able to have a place that I can steal all my jokes from so I don't have to be creative and come up with anything ever. But I definitely don't want anyone to feel pressured to show up, because if you're just lurking, and to all your lurkers at this very moment, I appreciate you so much. Thanks for sticking around in the background. You had a game with Scary Shoals entrance, you got Vaults and Slime Runes and Cleared Depths, Elfin Crypt before going to Shoals, and Firestorm Online made Shoals a bit easier, then proceed to be a dum-dum and die in Zot. Well, I definitely cannot at all sympathize with dying in Zot. That... How many times can I repeat this joke in one stream? That definitely doesn't sound like something I would do, but that's really wild. That's what I really enjoy about sometimes when you have a strong character and you end up going into lair early on, maybe, you know, it's on floor 9 of the dungeon, and then you just clear through both your S branches. By the time you return out to the regular dungeon, it is just easy mode the entire way. Absolutely no concerns in the world, and just steamroll most of the things you find. So fun. It's wild that a game can provide so much entertainment, both when it goes wrong and when it goes very right. It's a different kind of satisfaction, of course, but definitely feels good, man, either way. Hello, my dragon friend, or as we recently discovered, not qualified as a dragon friend. Unfortunately so, poor Komodos. Something about the whole existing in real life thing probably ruined their chances of joining that club. Dragons are famously very jealous creatures, so you know, getting to exist is one of those deal breakers for them, I feel. Which, fair enough. I too would hate to know that I was the only one here who didn't exist whatsoever. Again, one of those tangents, lines of reasoning that I do not think through before starting, and I have no idea where that joke was gonna go. Apparently this is it. This is the terminus, the end point. So instead, let's distract everyone with another one of our delicacies from the dungeon, which, oh my gosh, I think I have the title of my cookbook. Delicacies from the dungeon. Steamed eel, of course, a classic of the dungeon delver's diet. A little bit of alliteration, never hurt nobody. But steamed eel, absolutely fantastic. Roll that up in some rice, maybe a little bit of seaweed. Got yourself some beautiful, why am I blanking on the Japanese word for eel? Well, guess we're just gonna have to live with that one. Brain has decided to completely vacate all thoughts from it just when I needed my brain most. It disappeared. Much like the Avatar. Very distant drum. Okay. Probably shouldn't fight you face to face, but I'm gonna. Similar things with our water moccasin friend there. Let's just take a couple steps back here, shall we? Quickly read an ID scroll, and I'm hoping magic mapping? Okay, Scroll of Fear, to be honest, is actually pretty great as well. Can't be too disappointed with that. Maybe this is a bit closer to our Minotaur Gauntlet here. One can hope, one can dream. How many heads does this Hydra have? 7. Of course. Ever an escalating process, hey game. Just can't let me be happy in life. Well, to try to freeze this son of a gun, or more accurately, paralyze them with a wand, maybe? Alternatively, what do we have? Oops, let's get rid of that. There we go. What do we have for dealing with you at range, my friend? I guess we could keep blinking away from you and hope that we get lucky enough not to end up in the direct vicinity of an angry 7-headed Hydropal. Could be nice, would be nice. Does something makes me doubt that it'll happen. 23% chance of paralyzing you. While we're at this distance, why the heck not? Oh wow. How about that? Oh, and you're too far away for me to actually use anything else? Well, how about that times 2? Not great. Not fantastic. But, quickly kill these friends, and then manifold salt is still a bit too far off. What else can I do with this Hydra? I could try and charm them. What are my odds? 25%? Well, I know that they're paralyzed, but I'm pretty sure that's more of a body paralysis, and their mind should still be active, so we can probably still charm them, right? Because, might I say, that all 14 of your eyes are looking absolutely stellar this evening. They're a drink of water for a very, very thirsty desert traveler. They are an oasis. Why do I feel very sick? Oh, that's just the poison. Never mind. An oasis in this cold, dark world that we live in. Okay. Keep that in mind for the future. Hydras do love their eyes being called an oasis for a weary traveler. Who knew? Who knew? Thunderous beating of a very distant drum. Not great. And hey, Dr. Pirate, how's it going? Fantastic to have you drop on by here. Thank you so much, as always, for spending your evenings with little old me. I hope you're having a great weekend. I have not seen Gastronaut in this version of the game yet. I did not know that they did this to you, my friend. And I realize that that may sound negative, and it's not meant to. You are absolutely adorable. So I see what they've done here. Over the past few versions, they've taken yaks, changed them from cute little sheepy pals to vicious killer sheep. Or maybe sheep is still too light of a word there. But Gastronaut apparently followed the exact opposite mentality from a design perspective, where it's like, you know what? No, he looks too much like a nasty slug. Let's make him cuter. That's what he needs. Slug, not sheep. Oh no, yeah, I was talking about yaks for that one. No, but this son of a gun is real cute. Oh my gosh. Now that's a piece of facial hair to be jealous of, my friend. This is actually a bad idea. Ouch, that really hurt. You're not kidding, game. Airstrike is a 7 range thing. Oh, you're at the edge of our vision though, so, excuse me, pardon me. I would like to find this gauntlet, but I also don't want to die. Don't you hate it when that happens? Such a hard life we leave. But, Gastronaut, smell you later, and maybe down here somewhere? That looks like an entrance to swamp that I do not want to F with at all at the moment. Okay, at the risk of potentially missing out on this this gauntlet, I think we have to. Oh, excuse me. Hello, my water moccasin friend. Won't mind getting a little bit fried on this lovely evening, I hope. Didn't stop to actually wait for an answer, which probably makes me a bad conversationalist, but it's a snake, so what are you gonna do? I don't speak snake language, unfortunately. Something that every character in this game could probably work on a little bit, on top of just not murdering everyone we come across as we invade their own homes. Maybe at least learning some of the languages of the dungeon so we could talk with them after Thunderstrike, the drum beats cease. Well, we tried. Not very hard, not very well, more so. But technically tried? You get points for that, right? Oh no. Gastronaut, I do not want to deal with you. Don't see me, don't see me. You saw nothing. Let's just both continue on our way, and maybe, just maybe, we can make it out of this dungeon alive, the both of us, hey? Doesn't that sound lovely? Wouldn't you like to see your family again, my sluggy boy? Maybe I should actually read their little tidbit backstory on their character page, because for all I know, I'm really pushing some buttons that are better left alone. Gastronaut, do you have a tragic a tragic history with your family? You done, maybe had horrible things done to you? I hope not. For your sake and my own mental health, I hope that you've lived a lovely life. I mean, how does one grow a glorious mustache like that and have the sense of style to wear and pull off the classic wizard blue hat? Gotta think that they come from a place of privilege in their life, you know? But okie dokie. Instead of pontificating upon the level of privilege held by our one sluggy friend here, maybe we should focus on just staying alive. That's maybe for the best. Oops, no, let's not fit a cloud again. Instead, finish you off real quick. Gastronaux's family died in a tragic trip to the shoals. Oh no, he did not realize until too late that it was seawater. Classic mistake. I mean, you'd think slugs would know better, but let's not victim blame here, and instead just send our sympathies to dear old Gastronaut. At least until the next time I see them and they try to murder me with an airstrike or two, and then all sympathy's off the table and we're bitter enemies till the end of our days. But sometimes it's good to have that level of, or some level of, empathy with your villains, you know? Not too much, or you risk turning yourself into just as horrible of a person, but maybe a little bit of empathy goes a long way in this cold, dark world. That's why we're the chosen one who's here to rescue the entire dungeon from Zot, of course. We do what we must to make the world a better place. Oh, speaking of the son of a gun, hello. Well, don't know why I keep looking at your stats every time we run across you, because I'm still not very happy with what we're looking at here. That airstrike being able to hit us anywhere at any time. Not great. Not great, to put it lightly. And I guess your willpower is probably high too, right, my friend? Unfortunately so. I'm sorry to hear about your family. It'd be a shame if we sent you on to shoals. Had to relive that trauma. Hey, buddy? Okay, confirmed there's nothing textual in here. But it's always nice to know. Oh right, he's not even a former wizard. I kind of forgot about that. He ate a wizard. Or they ate a wizard. No, his. Okay. Making sure not to misgender our lovely friend here. Right, you ate a powerful wizard. Maybe I was giving you too much credit for the style choices, my friend. Whatever, you deserve it because you're cute. It's a shame that that's how the world works, but hey, I'm just another cog in the machine. And cuteness goes a long way. Slugs are hermaphrodites. You are? Yeah, you are right. At least most of them are, right? The vast majority. So currently he. But definitely subject to change. They need to make a baby old son. Because I'm trying to remember if slugs are hermaphroditic, but that's probably, they're not a self-replicating isn't the right word. That's more accurate to like an amoeba or something. But I don't think most slugs are self-fertilizing. At least not normally. Nature finds a way and all that good stuff. It's like the hermaphroditic frogs that have managed to impregnate themselves and keep their species alive. So don't discount any potential outcomes for our sluggy friend. But maybe I just have to watch a documentary on slugs one of these days here. Get a bit of a refresher. Okay, you should die in the fire and the flames. You do. Fantastic. Now we are surrounded by one too many of our favorite sheep boys here. So maybe we just drop some poison essentially on top of ourselves. All worth it in the long run. The whole slug community effort. They breed in long chains. Yeah, I thought it might be something like that, where it's a bit more situational and they will flop back and forth depending on what their community, as you put it, needs. I don't know what the collective noun is for slugs. If anyone knows, definitely pass it on, because I always enjoy learning those ones, especially since so many collective nouns for animals are really fun. Like murders of crows, conspiracies of ravens. Trying to remember, there was one that I learned recently, and I'm not doing a great job of representing how much I love learning things because I've already somehow forgotten completely. Wasn't elephants. Actually, it might have been elephants, because I kept calling them herd in this game. Are elephants a stampede? That doesn't seem quite right. I feel like I'm making assumptions based on their role in pop culture. Hey, Softman, according to Google, a group of slugs is known as a cornucopia. Oh, that is lovely. That is fantastic, and which is great, I agree. And oh no, they all meet up and just chain themselves together all at once in a freaky line. Nice. If anyone has a problem with that, they're probably just jealous. Sounds like a wild party, to say the least. Gotta say, it's maybe a bit controversial, but slugs know how to party, my man. You've been to a slug party? Let's not think too hard about what that may or may not imply. And instead, distraction. Cool. Protection of fire ring. Isn't that awesome? But it's nice to know how a cornucopia of slugs get it on. Because I'm pretty sure I actually read a thing, again, because of DCSS, I read an entire post that was talking about how dart slugs mate in real life, because that's a weird process that is severely uncomfortable for most parties involved. Ooh, as the Hydra gets random energy towards me and almost ends it all right here. How about that? How about that? Okay, so do we use up our only blink scroll? Do we risk a fear, which is likely to, actually it's not that likely to work with 2 pips of willpower? Might have to use that final blinking scroll. Again, not the best start to our evening here. We're burning through consumables at a frankly alarming rate, but it's probably worth it just to make sure that we don't, die at a freakishly alarming rate, because that, again, very unique perspective, and I'm not like the other streamers, but dying in the video game, I'd say that's bad. You can call me brave too, for being so honest about it. I don't mind whatsoever. But in all seriousness, at least we're alive, and hopefully we have a bit better of a plan in place for the next hydropal we run into. Same with this bear, giving us a bunch of issues after they go berserk at low health. I mean, makes a lot of sense. I would definitely not want to find myself on the other end of those paws running into a polar bear in the north here. Fortunately, I don't live that far north. Or south, I guess. Maybe? No, there are no polar bears in Antarctica, I don't think. I feel like that's one of those trick things where like everyone assumes that the North Pole has penguins, but it does not. Instead, the South Pole, or Antarctica, is the only place, I believe. Or not necessarily the only place, but the only pole that has a large population, at least, those sons of guns. Turns out I'm just questioning all my facts today, and now I'm gonna have a list of questions coming out of this stream. These are the 25 animal facts that you need to know in order to enjoy DCSS. And have no HP is kind of annoying, agreed. And what about the East Pole, They never think about that. Stupid scientists not accounting for the secret East Pole. I mean, not many people know about it, but it's definitely a vivid and wild ecosystem full of interesting, fanciful creatures, mostly because it doesn't exist, much like these fictional creatures, and you know, that makes it a good place for them to live. Ah, another hydra. Polar bears are northern critters and penguins tend to be southern hemisphere. Nice. Memory, you did it. You got one thing right. Now just don't say anything for the rest of the stream, and that's a pretty good record, in my opinion. Also, one single dream sheep and a 7-headed hydra. Walk into a bar. Again, sounds like the setup for a terrible joke, but instead, it's actually the setup for a nightmare scenario. So let's maybe come over here. Where do you let out? Okay, I can get with that. Can maybe get behind this. Don't show me both those friends at once, please. Oh, Firebat's probably not great for us either. Firebat, we're not talking about a flame-throwing marine here. For all my StarCraft nerds in chat. Someday I should go back to StarCraft. I mean, it's tough because I kind of hate Blizzard right now, but StarCraft 2 is a fantastic game. I guess this is just gonna confuse you. That's not exactly enough. Unfortunately, confusion does not make bats swoop directly into the ground. And I guess at the end of the day, it's a fire bat. Would the lava hurt it? It depends on what their kind of internal temperature runs at. Because I feel like resistance to fire, even immunity to fire, you know, realistically, lava's a whole nother beast. And this game is, of course, nothing if not exceptionally realistic, down to the nitty-gritty details. Doesn't it take a zillion dream sheep to actually do anything? In general, yes. On a deep elf next to a 7-headed hydra, I think one dream sheep can put you to sleep for one turn, and that might be enough to kill me. Single-headed hydra walks into a bar after far too many drinks. The bartender says, "I'm gonna have to cut you off." Absolutely fantastic, though. As much as hi-hats have become synonymous with jokes that are bad and just, you know, making fun of them, I'm reclaiming the sound effect, and that was absolutely fantastic. You know, that's what I'm always saying. I'm always saying that we're missing out on Hydra-based humor in too much in life. Nobody's thinking about the Hydra jokes these days. You know, unless maybe Marvel fans might be a little bit more up that alley, but even then, that's not, you know, that's not the same thing. Different Hydras, my friend. Different Hydras. Did I never pick up that protection from firing? Oh no, there it is. Whew. Had me worried there, game. Wouldn't be the first nor the last time that I made a foolish mistake like that. Do we have anything other than irradiate that can take care of you? Can I petrify you? Yeah. It works, it works. Chop you up to size. Oh, never mind. Are you... Wait, what? Firebat is sucked into the shaft. Huh. Didn't know they got that kind of air pressure in those things. How about that? Has anyone tried to use the shafts to maybe teach yourselves a little bit something about technology? More dream sheep. Let's definitely throw down a bunch of this right on top of ourselves. It might keep us safe, at least for a moment. And if I have just but a moment. That's all I need, baby. So I go to sleep. See, that was many turns. There was only 3 of them. What's up with that? Hey, my dreamy friends. And that's the thing. Everyone actually thinks that these buddies are named after the fact that they have a sleeping mechanic that makes you dream, but that's not actually true. It's actually because they are the optimum sheep in terms of weight, size, dare I say looks. Not that I'm a sheep connoisseur myself, but I've talked to a few yaks in my day. They've let me know what's real. And they are just, you know, the dream sheep. They're the sheep that every yak wants in life. Who wouldn't? Oh, do I take one more turn? Do I risk it? You're all fast anyway. Yeah. Yeah. You're due up to 20, right? Gosh darn it, my snaky pal. Hate that. Hate that. Is sourceless malevolence in this version? Hope not. I've never heard of that. What is this wizardry? I guess Irradiate actually just kills the Mamba, so never mind. This had an easier solution than I initially thought.